Ready?
Yep.
Hello, how you doing? My name is Frank Miller. I'm with Country Roads Crafts. It's a company that my wife and I do where we refinish furniture, and we also sell Fusion mineral paint. And today I'm going to show you or go through the process of painting this little handy dandy coat rack that I have here that was graciously given to me by a neighbor. It had these really neat hooks on it. There's 5 of them. I didn't figure you needed to see me remove 20 screws, so I've already done that for us. This is actually the way it came. It was lightly painted with milk paint actually, and most of it wasn't even there, just slightly washed. So I'm going to actually not have to sand very much. All I'm going to do is a light sanding, and then I'm going to prep it for paint. It's already basically down to bare wood except for in a few spots. I'm not going to bother to take that the rest of the way down. All I need to do is clean it up, make sure there's no loose pieces hanging out, no little hanging chads, if you will, and then we'll be ready to go. So just checking the edges. Primarily worried about these screw holes because there was some loose pieces hanging out when I removed the screws from that. Clean the edges up back here and across the front. And it's meant to look somewhat rugged anyway, so not getting it too pretty is what I want. Once I have it sanded, the next thing I want to do is I want to wipe it down with a good clean cloth to get the bulk of any dust that's left on there, or any loose pieces that's left on there. So we clean it down real good with a clean dry cloth. Once I've done that, and you can see that actually I got just that little bit of sanding, I got some stuff off of it, so that's important. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use what's called a tack cloth or a tack rag. And basically it's a rag that's got a real sticky substance on it, kind of a resin, and it will pick up anything that cloth missed. You can make these yourself quite easily by taking just a nice heavy paper towel and spraying it with spray adhesive, and it will work as a tack rag for you. But I'm going to wipe this down with this tack rag, and it will pick up anything that was missed by the dry cloth, and you can see that it did pick up some stuff. Alright, and that's what I want, because anything that's loose and dusty left on the surface is going to prevent the paint from adhering well. And it is sticky, so if you don't like sticky stuff on your fingers, you may want to wear some gloves for that part of it. Alright, so next we're going to paint this, and this week I'm going to paint this with the color of the week, which is Bedford by Fusion Mineral Paint. It is a mineral paint. It is not a chalk paint. It's made from crushed minerals suspended in acrylic. It is UV resistant. There are virtually 0 VOCs in this material. And it is actually got, since it's suspended in acrylic, it has a natural protective coating on it as it is, so there's no need to top coat it unless whatever you're going to do has a lot of traffic that may wear through the paint faster than normal. You may want to do a top coat over top of that just to be safe. But Bedford, it's a kind of a neat, kind of off-white with kind of some green undertones to it. Maybe some yellow undertones. It definitely kind of changes somewhat when it's in different lights. And I'm going to use today a Stallmeyer brush to paint these with. We sell these as well. These are the paintbrush of choice for Fusion Mineral Paint by the company. I'll be honest with you, it's not all I use, but they are really nice to use. They are a pleasure to work with. Alright, so mineral paint goes on pretty well. It actually covers very well. And so all I'm going to do is apply some paint. That's all I have to do for it. And it goes on really sweet. I know they say that once you've painted it, you shouldn't ever go back over mineral paint. What can I say? Old habits and bad habits die hard. So forgive me my indulgences there of doing bad habits. If I was painting this over a dark color, then I would probably consider doing some kind of a some kind of a sealer coat just to make sure that it didn't bleed through. And by sealer coat, what I mean is you could paint it almost any color gray. Gray covers up wonderfully. You could actually cover it with Kilt's primer and stain blocker, especially if it was maybe in a house or a residence where they did a lot of heavy chain smoking and everything smells like tobacco when you bring it out. So you could use Kilt's for that, which would help hide some of that tobacco smell for people who are super sensitive to it. You could use bins made by Sister, I believe it is. Not one I really use much. It's not really locally available to me in great abundance, but it is one that I have seen. I don't know, it's the one that the owners and makers of Fusion Mineral Paint actually recommend, but they don't sell it. It's just a brand that they recommend because they're used to it. Kind of like me with kilts, I'm used to it. All right, so that's it. That's applying the first coat. I don't know that it will take a second coat. Like I said, it goes on well, covers well, and I wanted kind of a rugged look to it anyway. So if there's a few holidays in the paint, I'm not going to be too upset about it, I don't think. If it was something I was worried about, then I could have either did a little bit heavier coat, or I could wait till it dries and go back over it with a light coat again to cover up anything that I might have missed in the first go around. Now once it dries, no matter how well you do it, still get a hanging chad there. Once it dries, all I've got to do is reapply the hardware, and I got a neat little coat rack to hang up in the entryway. Thank y'all for watching. This has been Frank with Country Roads Crafts. Y'all be blessed, and I will see you next time when I can speak English.